Okay. Okay, so there is somebody on. Hello, good evening. My name is Kay Renee. I am the tax fixer. I'm here with a client, and we just ended uh I would say it's been a long process. It's taken us months to get to this place to where I was finally able to fix the issue. For this particular client, the balance exceeded $300,000. Um, can you tell me, how did you learn of me? I don't even recall.
So I have a awesome wife who knows how to research, and she often does a great job just finding solutions and coming up with things that you may not be thinking about. And she is actually the one who found you. I had been through a cycle of case managers who did not do a very good job, and witnessing my frustration, she located you, and I remember our very first phone call.
Nice. Okay. So you can tell the people whatever it is you want them to know.
So, my experience was a long one, but a very fruitful one. This was not just a fixing situation. I learned a lot. It was like getting things fixed while also receiving knowledge that will help me not make them same mistakes ever again. So I'm very grateful for that. You have to have trust. We literally have trusted you with everything that we've had, and you were able to take that information and do wonders with it. I have labeled you the Olivia Pope of tax fixing. That's just the way that I view you. We're very, very grateful again for the knowledge that we now have. We're in a much better position to be successful moving forward. And the peace of mind that we have is probably the biggest thing biggest takeaway from it all, because this was very, very stressful. And now we can breathe and get back to some normalcy, and also do things right moving forward.
Awesome. And so what would you say, was at any point was it hard to trust me considering you don't know me at all and it's a lot of money? Like, was it hard?
I would say just being human. Yes, it's hard, but I would say every time, every phone call we had, you were always very professional, always prepared, and that just helps you build more and more trust each for each step of the way. And you have to trust us too. So it's two ways. You're trusting us, and we're trusting you, and we're literally pulling on the rope at the same time. And so yes, trust is a very important deal, but I think your response time is something that should be noted. There's never a time where you just left hanging wondering if you're going to show up. If you got a meeting time, you're there. If there's a modification in the schedule, we know that way ahead of time. If we're the communications by email and by the portal that you have, which is super, super nice, where we can upload documents, share information, and it was a perfect fit for what we needed.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate you. Okay, so you said you have some peace, so that part is good. And you worked with someone before me. Where did they fail?
They did all the things that you did. They didn't do the things that you did. They spoke a good game about what plan that they had intact, but there was just no follow through. There was no follow through. Um, they ran when things got tough, when things got complicated. You could kind of sense the fear. You could sense the uncertainty and the lack of confidence in what was going on. And I think is blame is a real thing, and it's easy to blame the system or blame this or blame that. But at the end of the day, when you have someone that's labeled a tax professional, you expect them to be able to fill in all the holes that you have from not being on that side of the fence and not knowing what's going on.
Okay. And then in that, right? So you said something about you could sense that they ran when times got hard.
Uh,
So not last week, but the week before on a Friday, like we had called, and that call went to hell in a handbasket is the best way that I could say it.
mhm,
And the person was doing too much. You could tell that I was frustrated. And but I was like, all right, like I promise you this could be done. At any point, did I ever tell you something could be done that wasn't able to be done? Because I think that's really important. And that's what the difference of working with me is and working with somebody else is that when I say, like, so I tell my clients exactly how I can help them. Other people do not, and they just throw darts in the dark, hoping that something sticks. So I don't run away because I know when something can be done.
yeah, so I'd say, my wife always talks about transparency, and you're always transparent. What you say is gonna happen. What you say, how you feel about things, you're always very upfront about that. And you lay out clear expectations of where we have to do our part, and for us that's huge. Not knowing how you can be in partnership with someone can be confusing in a lonely place, and that just hasn't occurred. We always were aware of what we had to bring to the table in order for things to work. And again, yeah, I'll never forget that night. That night was one of those nights where I was like, "Ooh, this okay, it's getting tough now." I mean, we were on that phone for I think over 2 hours, and yeah, it didn't. That call didn't end the way we wanted it to, and we had to take a breather. I think we took the weekend.
Yeah, definitely took.
Um, and I think I came back with some things that were really helped you do what you needed to do, and vice versa. And before we even got started today, we were able to share some things, kind of regroup. And I think we had confidence going into our call. And of course, prayer is undefeated. So
Period.
I prayed on the way home, prayed in the kitchen, prayed one more time before I got on the phone with you. So, although I had high nerves, my nerves kind of eased as we got further into our call. And it's always like that.
Okay, awesome. So some of the areas where I think it's like really important to mention is that through this experience, you are now caught up on making quarterly estimated tax payments. Um, Not that your credit score was bad because it wasn't, but your credit score increased
Uh-huh.
and your tax problem is fixed.
Amen. Say it
Like
again.
it's three different things that happen throughout this process, and you're caught up with back taxes. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no questions, you understand your taxes. I'm real big on education, and so I love it like when I'm able to educate clients and help y'all see it how the IRS see it. And just understanding what valid business expenses are, ordinary and necessary for the production of income, versus just somebody telling you, oh yeah, you could write this off, you could write that off, you could write. No, you cannot.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember that was like one of our like some of our first conversations because I was
Yeah.
like, man, you can't write that off.
Absolutely. Financial literacy is something that you preached about, and you've been consistent with that from day one. And so again, more stuff that we're able to take with us in our financial suitcase as we move forward. So no, thankful for that too. Like I said, you know that's where the fresh air is. We know what we're doing now. We know what the expectations are. And that's just a huge weight off the shoulders because they've been very heavy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that you have peace. Thank you for trusting me. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream right now. Bam, it is done. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.